Hello, friends! It is another new year for this channel of Wild Tony Appears. I am your host, Wild Tony, the formerly known as Tackhead9. Still working on the branding, let's be honest. Now, I found it funny that for years I have had a display picture that references Phoenix Wright, but I have no Phoenix Wright content on this channel, so I thought I'd give this one a shot for the first time. I'll probably just do one episode, as I tend to do, and leave the rest stranded. But, you know, let's jump in, play this game. Let's just go straight into the third one. No, let's perhaps... I think we're gonna go with Ace Attorney. Episode 1, The First Turnabout. Now, this one, I kind of basically already know the premise. I wanted to go into this blind, but, you know, you watch enough footage and eventually you'll figure it out. So this one is completely unblind, but contextually, it will later be blind. Thinking of murder. Well, that's a shame. That looks like a really nice floorboard. Damn it! Why me? I can't get caught! Not like this! I've got to find someone to pin this on. Someone like him. Looks suspicious with his hands in his pockets. I'll make it look like he did it. I like to think he's actually loudly declaring this in the apartment. The people next door are like, what is that man talking about? August 3rd, 9:47 a.m., District Court. Defendant Lobby, number 2. That's the narrator, apparently. Boy, am I nervous! Right! my stereotypical, female compatriot voice. It's never good. Oh, hiya, Chief. She is not professionally dressed at all.
Phew, I'm glad I made it on time. Well, I have to say, Phoenix, I'm impressed.
That's just my Mallow voice from Mario RPG.
Not everyone takes on a murder trial right off the bat like this.
She's much less attractive when she sounds like this.
It says a lot about you, and your client as well.
Thanks. Actually, it's because I owe him a favor.
A favor? You mean you knew the defendant before this case?
Yeah, he was my drug dealer. Yes! Actually, I kind of owe my current job to him. He's one of the reasons I became an attorney.
Well, that's news to me!
I want to help him out any way I can. I just really want to help him. I owe him that much. It's over! My life, everything, it's all over! I should probably figure these voices out before I start recording, but oh well.
Is that your client screaming over there?
Yeah! It's him. Death! Despair! Oh! I'm gonna do it! I'm gonna die! It's basically just a typical Monday for me.
It sounds like he wants to die!
Yeah. Oh. Nick! Hey! Hey there, Larry! Dude, I'm so guilty! Tell him I'm guilty! Give me the death sentence! I ain't afraid to die! What? What's wrong, Larry? You're having a, bit of a stressful time. Oh, it's all over! I'm finished! Finished! I can't live in a world without her! I can't! Who took her away from me, Nick? Who did this? Oh, Nick, you gotta tell me, who took my baby away? The person responsible for your girlfriend's death? The newspapers say it was you. My name is Phoenix Wright. You're probably wondering how I got here. Here's the story. I gotta press A. I want to see the story, damn it! My first case is a fairly simple one. My friend murdered someone. A young woman was killed in her apartment. The guy they arrested was the unlucky sap dating her. Larry Butts, my best friend since grade school. Our school had a saying, when something smells, it's usually the butts. In the 23 years I've known him, it's usually been true. He's a smelly man, let's be honest. He has a knack for getting himself in trouble. One thing I can say, though, it's usually not his fault. He just has terrible luck. But I know better than anyone that he's a good guy at heart. That, and I owe him one, for all the drugs you see, which is why I took the case, to clear his name. And that's just what I'm gonna do! August 3rd, 10 a.m., District Court, Courtroom Number 2. Was that the narrator voice? I can never remember my voices. Which is terrible since I only run through like 3 or 4. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Larry Butts. What's a pain gonna sound like? Let's rush this. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The, defense is ready, Your Honor.
Ahem. Mr. Wright, this is your first trial, is it not?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm, a little nervous.
Your conduct during this trial will decide your fate of your client.
Yes, I know, I screwed up the line, don't worry.
We'll fix it in post. Murder is a serious charge. For your client's sake, I hope you can control your nerves.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Wright, given the circumstances, I think we should have a test to ascertain your readiness.
Yes, Your Honor. This is, pretty much typical in Japanese courtrooms. Trials go on for several years because they're mostly just going through mini-games. Ugh. Hands shaking, eyesight fading, knees are heavy, palms are sweaty.
The test will consist of a few simple questions. Answer them clearly and concisely. Please state the name of the defendant in this case.
I mean, it's if I get it wrong. It's me! The defendant is me, right?
Right? Have you completely lost your mind? Focus! The defendant is the person on trial. You're his lawyer!
Oh yeah, right.
This is no laughing matter. You did pass the bar, didn't you?
Yeah, I passed on the way here. I went in, had a few pints.
Sorry, I couldn't hear your answer. I'll ask once more. Please state the name of the defendant in this case.
I think she said it was her. The, defendant. That's, Mia Fey.
Wrong, right? Look, I have to leave. I have to go home. I'm expecting a delivery.
Oh, come on, Chief. There's no need to be going so soon, is there?
Listen, right? The defendant is the one on trial. Your client. I mean, that's about as basic as you can get.
I put my foot into this time. I've got to relax.
Sorry, I couldn't hear your answer. I'll ask once more.
Was this the dude who put OJ on trial? He seems to be pretty lenient. Please state the name of the defendant in this case. It's me, right? Okay. The defendant? Well, that's Larry Butts, Your Honor.
Yeah, I heard that one, you dickhead. Correct. Just keep your wits about you and you'll do fine. Next question. This is a murder trial. Tell me, what's the victim's name?
Oh, I know this one. Glad I read the case report over so many times. Wait. Uh-oh. No, wait! I forgot! I'm drawing a total blank here. It's me, right?
Phoenix! Are you absolutely sure you're up to this? You don't even know the victim's name?
Oh, the victim! Of course I know the victim's name. I, just forgot. Temporarily.
I think I feel a migraine coming on. Look, the victim's name is listed in the court record. Just press the R button to check it at any time, okay? Remember to check it often. Do it for me, please. I'm begging you.
Mr. Wright, who is the victim in this case?
Cindy. Cinder block. Screw it, let's do it. Oh, wasn't it Miss Block? Miss Cinder Block?
The person in question was a victim of murder, not ill-conceived naming, Mr. Wright.
Right? Did you forget something? Use the R button to check the court record and solve the memory. A mistake in court because of the case.
I'll ask you again, Mr. Right. Or in this case, Mr. Wrong.
Alright, fine. We don't want this episode to go for like 35 minutes. The victim's name is Cindy Stone.
Correct. Now tell me, what was the cause of death? She died because she was...
bored. She was struck once by a blunt object.
Correct. You've answered all my questions eventually. I see no reason why we shouldn't proceed.
You seem much more relaxed, Mr. Wright.
Good for you. And Cinderblock.
Thank you, Your Honor. Because I don't feel relaxed, that's for sure.
Well then, first a question for the prosecution. Mr. Payne?
Yes, Your Honor.
As Mr. Wright just told us, the victim was struck with a blunt object. Would you explain to the court just what that object was?
The murder weapon was this statue of the Thinker. It was found lying on the floor next to the victim.
I see. The court accepts it into evidence.
Statue added to the court record. A statue in the shape of the Thinker. It's rather heavy.
Right? Be sure to pay attention to any evidence added during the trial. That evidence is the only ammunition you have in court. Because it's not America, we don't openly carry a gun. Use the R button to check the court record frequently.
She's becoming Grover. Screw it, she's gonna be Grover from now on.
Use the R button to check the court record frequently, sir.
Mr. Payne, the prosecution may call its first witness.
The prosecution calls the defendant, Mr. Butts, to the stand. Chief? What do I do now? Can I go home? Did I do a good job?
Pay attention. You don't want to miss any information that might help your client's case. You'll get your chance to respond to the prosecution later, so be ready. Let's just hope he doesn't say anything, unfortunate.
Is it Grover or is it Yoda? I don't know. It's Baby Yoda. That gets the clicks, right? Uh-oh. Larry gets excited easily. This could be bad. Mr. Butts, is it not true that the victim had recently dumped you?
Hey, watch it, buddy. We were great together. We were Romeo and Juliet, Cleopatra, and Mark Antony.
Didn't they all die?
I wasn't dumped. She just wasn't taking my phone calls or seeing me. Ever. What's it to you anyway?
Mr. Butts, what you describe is generally what we mean by dumped. In fact, she had completely abandoned you and was seeing other men. She had just returned from overseas with one of them the day before the murder.
What do you mean, one of them? Lies! All of it! Lies! I don't believe a word of it!
Your Honor, the victim's passports. According to this, she was in Paris until the day before she died. Added Victor Payne would actually be like, Paris. Passport added to the court record. The victim apparently arrived from Paris on 7th of the 30th. The day before the murder. Damned American dates.
Indeed, she appears to have returned the day before the murder.
Dude, no way. The victim was a model, but she did not have a large income. It appears that she had several sugar daddies.
Daddies? Sugar?
Yes, older men who gave her money and gifts. She took their money and used it to support her lifestyle.
Dude!
We can clearly see what kind of woman this Miss Stone was. Tell me, Mr. Butts, what do you think of her now?
Right? I don't think you want him to answer that question.
Yeah, Larry has a way of running his mouth in all the wrong directions. Should I... wait and see what happens. Screw it. Might be better not to get involved in this one.
Well, Mr. Butts?
Dude, no way! That cheating she-dog! I'm gonna die! I'm just gonna drop dead!
Yeah, when I meet her in the afterlife,
I'm gonna get to the bottom of this!
Let's continue with the trial, shall we?
I believe the accused motive is clear to everyone.
Yes, quite.
Oh boy. This is so not looking good. Next question. I'm gonna start playing this game properly now because I think I'm gonna lose the first case just for shits and giggles. You went to the victim's apartment on the day of the murder, did you not? Well, did you or did you not? Huh? Well, maybe I did and maybe I didn't. Uh-oh. He went. What do I do? Stop him from answering! I'll send him a signal. Lie like a dog! Well, see, it's like this. I don't remember.
You don't remember? Well then, we'll just have to remind you.
I got a bad feeling about this.
We have a witness that can prove he did go to the victim's apartment that day. Well, that simplifies matters. Who is your witness? The man who found the victim's body, just before making the gruesome discovery. He saw the defendant fleeing the scene of the crime! Order in the court, you bastards! Mr. Payne, the prosecution may call its witness.
Yes, Your Honor. This is bad. On the day of the murder, my witness was selling newspapers at the victim's building. Please bring Mr. Frank Sowett to the stand. Oh, I see. Cinderblock is a weird name, but Frank Sowett, we're fine with that. Mr. Sowett, you sell newspaper subscriptions. Is this correct?
Oh, yes. Newspapers, yes.
Yeah, I can't remember what he sounded like.
Mr. Sowett, you may proceed with your testimony. Please tell the court what you saw on the day of the murder.
Maybe this is his court voice. Witness's account.
I was going door to door selling subscriptions when I saw a man fleeing an apartment. I thought he must be in a hurry because he left the door half open behind him. Thinking it strange, I looked inside the apartment. Then I saw her lying there, a woman, not moving, dead! I quailed in fright and found myself unable to go inside. I thought to call the police immediately. However, the phone in her apartment wasn't working. I went to a nearby park and found a public phone. I remember the time exactly. It was 1 p.m. The man who ran was, without a doubt, the defendant sitting right over there.
Look at that gyration. Is he nervous or does he just need to pee? Larry, why didn't you tell the truth? I can't defend you against a testimony like that. I think I told you to lie.
Incidentally, why wasn't the phone in the victim's apartment working? Your Honor, at the time of the murder, there was a blackout in the building. Aren't phones supposed to work during a blackout?
Yes, Your Honor. However, some cordless phones do not function normally. The phone that Mr. Sowett used was one of those. Your Honor, I have a record of the blackout for your perusal.
Blackout record added to the court record. From noon to 6 p.m. on the day of the crime.
Now, Mr. Wright.
Yes, yes, Your Honor.
You may begin your cross-examination.
Cross-examination, Your Honor?
Right, this is it. The real deal.
What exactly am I supposed to do?
Why, you exposed the lies in the testimony the witness gave.
Lies? What? He was lying?
Your client is innocent, right? Then that witness must have lied in his testimony. Or is your client really guilty?
At this rate? How do I prove he's not?
You hold the key. It is in the evidence. Compare the witness's testimony to the evidence at hand. There's bound to be a contradiction in there. First, find contradictions between the court record and the witness's testimony. Then, once you've found the contradicting evidence, present it and rub it in the witness's face. Like a delicious lemon.
Okay. That lemon comment's kind of weird, but...
Now open the court record, then point out with the contradiction of testimony.
I would like to look at the thing, please. Oh. Crap, I should have done that beforehand.
I was going door to door, selling subscriptions when I saw a man fleeing an apartment. I thought he must be in a hurry because he left the door half open behind him. Thinking it strange, I looked inside the apartment. Then I saw her lying there, a woman not moving, dead. I quailed in fright and found myself unable to go inside. I thought to call the police immediately. However, the phone in her apartment wasn't working. I went to a nearby park and found a public phone. I remember the time exactly. It was 1 p.m.
1 p.m. Are you certain?
Yes, absolutely.
He seems really confident.
1 p.m.? Right. Doesn't that seem strange to you? Present some evidence to contradict him.
My badge? Listen. I remember the time exactly. It was 1 p.m. But this one. You found the body at 1 p.m. You're sure? Yes, it was 1 p.m. for certain. Frankly, I find that hard to believe, and I don't give a damn. Your statement directly contradicts the autopsy report. The autopsy notes the time of death at sometime after 4 p.m. There was no body to find at 1 p.m. I'm so clever. How do you explain this 3-hour gap?
This is trivial. The witness merely forgot the time. After his testimony, I find that hard to believe. Mr. Solid, why were you so certain that you found the body at 1 p.m.?
Gee, that's a really good question.
Great job, Wright. Way to put him on the spot. That's all you have to do. Point out contradictions. Lies always beget more lies. See through one, and the whole story falls apart.
Wait, I remember now.
Would you care to give your testimony again?
Alright, let's try this one more time. You see, when I found the body, I heard the time. There was a voice saying the time. It was probably coming from the television. Oh, but it was 3 hours off, wasn't it? I guess the victim must have been watching a video of a taped program. That's why I thought it was 1 p.m. Terribly sorry about the misunderstanding. Well, that seems ironclad.
I see. You heard a voice saying it at the time on a taped program. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
Right?
You know what to do.
Do I cuddle him? I've got this one. Oh, I'm gonna cuddle him. I'm gonna cuddle him so good. You see, when I found the body, I heard the time. There was a voice saying the time. It was probably coming from the television. Are you sure it was a television and not a radio? Well, no, I guess it might have been a radio.
Instantly, there was no radio on the premises. There was only one large television.
Right. I can't put my finger on it, but something about this seems fishy. Something about hearing the television. The witness has testified. He heard the time. Oh, but it was 3 hours off, wasn't it? I guess the victim must have been watching a video of a taped program. No. There was no electricity, mister. Hold it right there. The prosecution has said that there was a blackout at the time of the discovery. And this record proves it. You couldn't have heard a television or a video.
Yeah! The defense has a point. Do you have an explanation for this, Mr. Sort?
I'm an electrician. I installed it myself. No, I find it quite puzzling myself. Quite. Yeah, well, wait. I remember now.
Mr. Sort, the court would prefer to hear an accurate testimony from the very beginning. These constant corrections are harming your credibility. But I don't suspect you yet. You look like a nice man. That and you seem rather distraught.
My apologies, Your Honor. It must have been the shock of finding the body. It was only the third one I'd found that day. I wasn't quite ready, you see.
Very well, Mr. Sort. Let's hear your testimony once more, please.
Actually, I didn't hear the time. I saw it! There was a table clock in the apartment, wasn't there? Yeah, the murder weapon. The killer used it to hit the victim. That must have been what I saw.
You saw a clock? I guess that would explain it. Case closed. Larry Butts is guilty. The defense may cross-examine the witness.
Gladly.
Actually, I didn't hear the time, I saw it. There was a table clock in the apartment, wasn't there? Yeah, the murder weapon. The killer used it to hit the victim.
Did he just... Wait just a moment. I know you from somewhere, don't I? The murder weapon wasn't a clock. It was this statue. Now how is this supposed to be a clock?
Yeah, you with your objections and your evidence. Just who do you think you are?
That sounds like me as a lawyer. Just answer the question, Mr. Sawit.
Hey, I saw it there, okay. That's a clock! Your Honor, if I may.
Yes, Mr. Payne.
As the witness stated, this statue is indeed a clock. As in, he clocked her over the head with it. Okay, very good. The neck is a switch. You just tilt it and it says the time out loud. As it doesn't look like a clock, I submit it as a statue. My apologies.
I see. So the murder weapon was a table clock after all. Well, Mr. Wright, it appears that the witness's testimony was correct. This is a clock. Do you have any problems with this testimony now? Yeah. Your Honor, there was a gaping hole in the testimony. That. The only way he could have known the weapon was a clock is to hold it in his hand. Yet the witness testified that he never entered the apartment. Clearly a contradiction. Indeed. The witness knew it was a clock because he... knew the victim. Yeah, he went into the apartment, probably. You're lying, mister. You were inside the apartment on the day of the murder.
Oh yeah? Prove it! Prove I went in there!
I'll do better than that. I can prove you were the one who killed her. Probably not the exact intonation they were intending with that line, but you know. You struck her with the clock, and the shock of the blow triggered the clock's voice. That was the sound you heard, mister. Kinda looked like the judge was wearing sunglasses from that angle. Order in the court. Intriguing. Please continue, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Sawit. The sound must have left quite an impression on you. Understandable, since the murder weapon just spoke as you hit the victim. That voice was burned into your mind. That's why you were so certain about the time. That's his court voice.
What's the meaning of this?
This is all baseless conjecture. Baseless? I don't know the meaning of the word. Literally. Just look at the witness's face. Would the witness care to elaborate? Did you strike the victim with the clock? I never...
Look at the clock. I heard so... No, I saw... Blah! Delicious.
Shut up.
I hate you. It was him, I tell you. I saw him. He killed her, and he should burn. Burn! Give him that!
Order in the court, I say.
Your Honor, a moment, please. There isn't a shred of evidence supporting the defense's claims.
Mr. Wright. Your Honor? I stopped paying attention. You claim the sound witness heard came from the clock. Do you have any evidence? Whole case is riding on this. I better think it through carefully. Your Honor, the sound Mr. Sawit heard was definitely this clock. A fact which is clear if you simply... you just try sounding that clock. Let's sound the clock now, here, in this court. Your Honor, may I have the clock? Phoenix Wright just goes up and clocks Mr. Sawit. I ask the court to listen very carefully. Beep. I think it's 8:25. That certainly is a strange way to announce the time. Well, he is the thinker, after all. So we've heard the clock. What are your conclusions, Mr. Wright? Mr. Payne, can you tell me what time it is now?
It's 11:25.
Yeah. As you can see, this clock is exactly 3 hours slow. Precisely the discrepancy between Mr. Sawit heard and the actual time of death. So, Mr. Sawit, try to talk your way out of this one.
You forgot one thing.
Oh, what's he talking about now?
While it may seem like that clock is running 3 hours slow, it proves nothing. How do you know it was running 3 hours slow on the day of the murder? If you can't prove that, you don't have a case.
He's right. How am I gonna prove that? Damn it, I was so close.
Mr. Wright, it seems you lack the critical evidence to support your claim.
Yes, Your Honor.
This means I cannot let you indict the witness. Unfortunately...
What about, Oh, wait, sorry.
This ends the cross-examination. Mr. Frank saw it.
I come all the way down here to testify, and look what happens. You treat me like a criminal. You lawyers are all slime.
Grr, I almost had him.
Sorry, Larry. I failed you. Can I present it now? No? Okay. There's nothing I can do about it now.
Not so fast, Mr. Swords.
Chief.
Listen up, Wright. Don't throw this one away. Not like this. Think.
But Chief, it's over. I can't prove the clock was slow the day of the murder. Larry can die. I don't know him that much. In fact, I don't know him anything at all if he's dead. Nobody can prove that.
Well, yes. But that doesn't mean you can't still win. Try thinking out of the box. Don't waste time doubting the facts. Assume the clock was 3 hours slow and think through it. Ask yourself, why was the clock 3 hours slow? Figure out the reason and you'll have your proof. Right? Right?
Worth it for that one line.
Can you think of a reason as to why the clock would be 3 hours slow?
Yeah, probably. Wait! Maybe I can prove it.
You must have evidence somewhere that can prove it, right? Find it and let them have it. Well, Mr. Wright, you say the clock was already running slow on the day of the murder. Have you found evidence to support this claim?
Of course! Here's a piece of evidence in the court record that can prove my claim beyond a doubt.
Tough words. Let's see you pull this one off.
Let's see this evidence as to why it was running slow.
Ooh, can I present my attorney's badge? Oh, I really want to do it. I really want to do it. Fine. The passport. The victim had just returned home from abroad the day before murder. As we all know, the time difference between here and Paris is 9 hours. When it's 4 p.m. here, it's 1 a.m. the next day there. Like it, we all know the difference in time zones. Clock wasn't 3 hours slow, it was 9 hours fast! The victim hadn't reset her clock since returning home. That's why the time you heard when you struck her dead in her apartment was wrong! Proof enough for you, Mr. Saw It, or should I say, Mr. Did It? Well, you can't argue with that testimony.
Order, I say! He took a cyanide pill, damn it! Hate it when that happens. Well, this case has certainly turned out differently than we all expected. Mr. Payne, your witness.
He was arrested and has been taken away, Your Honor.
Very well, Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor.
I have to say I'm impressed. I don't think I've ever seen someone complete a defense so quickly and find the true culprit at the same time.
Thank you, Cinderblock.
At this point, this is only a formality, but this court finds the defendant, Mr. Larry Butts, exciting and erotic. Oh, but mostly not guilty.
Look at that. Who brought confetti to the court? That's really unprofessional.
And with that, this court is adjourned.
Thank you for a journey. It turns out that Frank Saw It was a common burglar. He posed as a newspaper salesman to check and see when people were out of the house that day. When Larry went to her apartment, the victim wasn't home. After he left, Mr. Saw It let himself in to do his dirty work. While he was searching her place, the victim returned. Flustered, Mr. Saw It grabbed the nearest blunt object he could find. And he stole it. August 3rd, 2:32 p.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby number 2. Phew, I still can't believe we won.
Right, good job in there. Congratulations.
Thanks, Chief. I owe it all to you.
Not at all, not at all. You found your own battles in there. You fought your own battles. You didn't find battles. That would be really unprofessional. It's been a while since I've seen a trial end on such a satisfying note.
Sure. I've never seen the chief looking this happy. If she's this glad, imagine how Larry must feel. My life is over. Larry! Not supposed to be happy? I mean, you are supposed to be happy. I'm sorry. I botched that line. What's wrong now? Nick. Don't worry about me. I'll be dead and gone soon. Good! Wait. No, I mean bad. Bad. Larry, you're innocent. The case is closed. But my Cindy Whitney's gone, man. Gone forever. Larry, she was a... Nah, never mind. Words come up. Sluts, whore, or prostitutes.
Congratulations, Harry.
Harry?
Yes, you. I can practically see the headlines now. Harry Butts, innocent.
Thanks. I really owe you one. I won't forget this, ever. Let's celebrate. Dinner, movie, eroticism, my treat.
Oh no, I couldn't.
Hey, I was the one who got you off the hook. Oh, hey, here, take this. It's a present. That's in really poor taste.
A present for me? Wait, wasn't this the evidence that...
Actually, I made this clock for her. I made one for her and one for me.
Really? You? You made this? Well, thank you. I'll keep it as a memento.
Yo, Nick, can you believe it? I was so into that chick, and she was playing me for a fool. Don't that make you just want to cry? Larry? Oh, sorry, I thought there was an upward intonation. I thought there was more to that.
Are you so sure?
Excuse me?
I think she's thought quite a lot of you in her own way.
Nah, you don't gotta sympathize with me. It's okay.
Oh, I'm not just sympathizing. Really? Isn't that right? Don't you have something to show your friend? Something that proves how she felt about him?
Well, we're in a public place. I don't know if I should. Oh, yeah, right. What the heck is she talking about? Well, what about the fact that she... Yeah. Here you go, Larry. Proof. It's okay, Nick. Don't worry about me. I'll forget about it soon enough. Look, I'm gonna head home. Thanks a ton, huh? Guess that wasn't the right thing to show him. But it's so shiny and I didn't use it in the courtroom. Aww.
Right? I hope you see the importance of evidence now. Also, hopefully you realize things change depending on how you look at them. People, too. We never really know if our clients are guilty or innocent. All we can do is believe in them. And in order to believe in them, you have to believe in yourself. Right? Listen, learn, grow strong. Never let go of what you believe in. Never. Well, I think our work here is done. Shall we be off?
Yeah, I guess so.
Say, how about dinner? On me?
Wow, I didn't know they did that here.
We'll drink a toast to innocent butts.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of Harry, you were saying part of why you became a lawyer was because of him.
Yeah, part at least.
You'll have to tell me more about it sometime.
Maybe.
Over drinks?
Damn, she's into me. And so my first trial came to a close. Larry slapped me on the back and said, "Gee, Nick, it's good to have friends. But I'm pretty sure he's not going to pay us. Unless you count the clock he gave me, I didn't know it then, but that clock was soon going to be at the center of another incident. ... And my promise to tell the chief about me and Larry would be one promise that I wouldn't be able to keep.